self-perpetrating reality for many brothers and many ones, because we've been taught those lies. You understand? Taught those lies. You understand? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you've been taught all this negative lies, you understand, and there's no, you can't find any truth, you understand, to save your life, then you're going to lose your life because of a lie. And this is what's been happening to our people, especially to our men. And unfortunately, the black woman, you understand, and I'm not talking about all you sisters, but y'all should know, if you feel offended, maybe I'm talking about you. You understand? Black women have been desensitized, you see what I'm saying? Have been desensitized to the crucifixion of their own black males, their own fathers, brothers, husbands, and even their own sons. Though they may treat their sons a little different, overall, they've been desensitized to the real crucifixion, yet the lynching of the black man. I'm not just talking about back in those days. Those days, they still had a little bit of sensitivity to it, but the seed, that weed was already planted. And now that weed has been watered by the whole civil rights and COINTELPRO and BFF, Black Frankenstein, feminism, it has been watered, in a sense, you know what I mean, by those conditions. And now we have what we're dealing with right now. So a lot of the black women have been desensitized to it, and a lot of black men, I can't say rightly, because there's a lot of anger that, you know, black men, many of us have, or have had, or struggle with. But remember this, brothers, that the wrath of man does not work the righteousness of God. So if you've been following these teachings, you understand who God is and who is the people of God. You understand? Because before we fell, you understand, before the black man fell, before the fall of Kemet, the fall of the black man, you understand, we were one with God, in God, and were part of God's, you understand, part of God's family. You understand? So there was no separation between black man and God. That's why when they go back in history or archaeology, they can't seem to find a whole bunch of ancient people. They find a couple of bones of monkey people here and there, even in Ethiopia. That whole thing in Ethiopia with Lucy, that's a big fraud. That's to take people's mind off of the King of Kings. A lot of that's fraudulent. Because if you need that to make you recognize how old Ethiopia is, you understand how long Ethiopia been around. That means you don't take the Ethiopian's testimony. Some guys getting high off LSD looking for bones, skulls and bones in Ethiopia, find some bones of a monkey woman, and they say, well, this is our ancestors, or this is the ancestors of the ancient Ethiopian. And the Ethiopian run around feeling proud. Now this makes us feel like somebody, because they've already rejected the covenant. They've rejected the biblical, you understand, the biblical heritage. And that's a whole other issue right there. But the point we're making right here is that a lot of our black women have been desensitized. You see, desensitized to it. And that has been done on purpose. The desensitization of the black woman. Willie Lynchism gives a overall template of how that would be done. So our anger as black males against the black woman, that a lot of brothers are spitting out on the YouTubes, on the internet, and different videos, shouting and screaming it, cussing the woman out and stuff like that. On one level, you can understand it. I can understand it, but you don't really, we can't agree that it's a logical response to the real crisis that's going on here. It's an emotional response, but emotions are not always logical. Understand that. So it's an emotional response to what's going on. You understand? But the wrath of man does not work the righteousness of God. You know, what we first of all have to understand is, how did all of this begin? How did it begin? If we look at how it all began, then we begin to understand why and where we're at today, as well as when we study it, we begin to see the solution, you know what I'm saying, the solution to this particular problem. You understand? We begin to see the solution to it. You know, that doesn't mean that every black woman or every black man is going to accept the truth of it. You know, because people have free will, free choice. That's one of the dynamics that you really can't do nothing about. Everybody got free will and free choice. So don't try to force the knowledge on somebody. You understand? The best thing to do is speak the truth. You understand? Give as much facts or examples as you can. You understand? You know, with those who are willing to learn, because some people are not willing to learn the truth. So you have to just allow them, leave them. As long as they don't step across your path, allow them to walk their own, you know, find their own way, as it were. But we do need to address that point, and I want to connect that point with the feminism issue, the trick of feminism against the black woman. You understand, as we touched on in the Black Sisterhood video. You understand, the Black Sisterhood video. But we want to focus more at this time on the brotherhood. You see, because we're not a sister. You know what I mean? That should be obvious, but we're not a sister. You know? However, since man truly is supposed to be the head, you understand, after Christ, who is after God, therefore, with that mind of Christ, which is the mind of God, we can give the sisters accurate and logical, you know what I'm saying, information, which if they choose to, can process this, you understand, can get together, can pray on it, can process it, you know what I'm saying, and get intelligence, and if their wills, you understand, are obedient to good influences, they can make those changes that they need to make. You know what I'm saying? So it's not trying to tell the sisters like, yo, you know, we want to be the head of your sisterhood or whatever like that. It's just it's very problematic right now to find those sisters who are God aligned, let's put it like that, who are aligned with the true God, who are capable, not from ego, because there's a lot of sisters who got egos just like a lot of brothers. So a lot of sisters are out there like, yeah, I can do this, all sisters rally together, and they don't even have I can't say it, they don't even have the state of mind. You understand? And I don't want to sound too harsh, but